Good evening. Good evening. We are live on a Thursday, right?
Yes, we are. We're live, and
Okay.
I don't have a clue what I'm doing tonight.
That's all right. It's fine. We'll get through. This is a new night for us. We're trying something different. And Coach is at a new location. So you'll probably hear more of me speaking than Coach. But that is fine. Welcome to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. I'm Kandi Knight and my lovely co-hosts.
I am Coach Thomas, and welcome everyone. Enjoy the show tonight.
Yes.
Okay, we're trying to.
All right, you're muted. But we're back. Welcome to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show, where we highlight and talk to student athletes and a few greats along the way, and we get a few tidbits about recruitment.
My microphone keeps muting,
But we
and
can
I'm
hear you
not
now.
muting it.
You're on.
I'm on?
Yes.
Okay, I am. Oh my God. Help me. Help me. Good evening, everybody. Good
Yes.
evening. Welcome to the Expect to Win Experience with me and Kandi. So
Right.
I'm going to get out of the way at some point and let Kandi do her thing because I am not here tonight. This is a hologram. See, now everything is a plan.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
All right. Well, we'll make it do what it does tonight. And so tonight's show, we're going to talk to a baseball player, which is fairly new. I know I've been missing in action for a little bit, but I don't think I've interviewed or talked with a baseball player. So we were talking all things baseball tonight, and we're going to bring our guest on here momentarily.
We're going to bring him on in a minute, Kandi. You know, this is our very first broadcast on Thursday night, and obviously it looks like that might have been a mistake.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Yes, because if you're just tuning in, we usually air on Saturday night. So we're trying something a little different.
Kandi, it looks like we're entertaining our guests because they're laughing. So
well, thank you for understanding.
Well, let's bring Mr. Bryson Evans on and
There he is. Welcome, Bryson.
There he is.
Hello. How are y'all?
I'm great. Well, we're doing great. How are you?
Good.
Good. Well, again, thank you for joining us and taking the time to sit down and talk with us tonight. We're talking all things baseball. So real quick, to those who are watching, will you take a moment and introduce yourself? Let us know where you're from, your school, your classification, and your position.
Hello, guys. I am Bryson Evans. I go to Comanche High School in Comanche, Oklahoma. I play baseball, football, and wrestling, and my main sport's baseball, and I play shortstop.
All right. So, Bryson. Okay. So, I didn't know you played so many sports. So, I do have questions about the others. Let's talk about baseball first, though, since that's why we're here. So, tell me about how you got your start in baseball.
I started when I was young. I'm sure like everyone else. I'm T-ball, machine pitch, and I'm kid pitch, and then so on. Now I'm here. So.
Okay. Did you mention an age, or do you remember an age of how old you first started?
I imagine probably 6 or 7 years old, probably somewhere around there.
All right, and you mentioned you played a few other sports as well. You said football. I think they're wrestling for those two that you mentioned. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What was it about baseball that stood out the most as to why that's your main sport?
Uh, I like it a lot. It's such a mental game, and which makes it tough sometimes. But a lot of times with baseball, it's just you, pretty much you and the guy you're going against. You control what happens. It's not it's pretty much on you. That's why I like it.
Right, and not necessarily, I guess, a team sport, kind of like how I guess it could be for the other sports.
It is, but kind of I guess your individual success relies on you pretty much.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, that's awesome. So, do you have any aspirations? Let's jump to the future. Could you see yourself going pro for baseball, or do you think you'll probably stop after high school? What does that look like for you?
Going pros, of course, my goal, and I honestly think it could happen one day. And I'm gonna play until I can't no more. Pretty much, that's how I feel about it.
Absolutely, and I've noticed that a lot of the baseball players play for years and years, and that's one of the sports you can have a lot of longevity in, playing for baseball, which is pretty good. So you said you're a rising senior, class of 22. Do you have any colleges in mind, or are you looking to play in college as well?
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking. I've talked to a couple 2-year schools, JUCOs, which in
Hmm.
baseball that's a really popular thing for a lot of guys.
Hmm.
And I've got a couple really good offers from some good JUCO programs. And I'm still chasing a Division I scholarship. That's my goal, of course. And hopefully it happens. But if not, then I'm happy to go to a 2-year and then eventually go to Division I.
Absolutely. I mean, that's definitely as long as you're playing and staying on track, that would be awesome. What about education wise? Do you know what you want to study or have a
Uh,
future in?
I think I've been looking at a degree in business. I think that'd suit me pretty good.
Business is really good. Absolutely. All right. So, who would you attribute your success in baseball to? Do you have any mentors or coaches or parents who really helped you out and got you started, encouraged you throughout your career?
I think the two biggest, well, my mom and my dad, of course. Definitely my dad. Um, uh, I don't even think he's ever played baseball before, but he sure does know a lot about the game. He's watched me play for probably 10 years. So if anybody knows what I'm doing wrong, it's definitely my dad.
Oh, well, gotta love dad. Do you have any siblings and do they play sports as well?
Yes, my little sister, she plays softball and
Okay.
gymnastics. And I think that's
Okay.
it.
Well, the softball definitely makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you help her out, like practice with her a little bit?
I try to. Most of the time, though, we get on each other's nerves and we end up mad at each other. So I do. I try.
That sounds about right, but that's great. All right. Well, who's your favorite baseball great? Do you have a player that you pattern your game after or that you look up to?
Um, I'd probably say probably Bryce Harper. I really like watching
Okay.
Bryce Harper. He
Okay.
plays the game
Awesome.
hard. So
He
I like
plays.
watching him.
What team did you say he played for?
I think he's playing for the Phillies right now.
Okay. Awesome. Well, shout out to the Phillies. Do you have a team that you love to play for or a home team?
Uh, no, not really. Just whoever wants me to play for him, I
Right.
guess. Not with that.
As right, as long as you make it in, that's awesome. I feel you on that. I think I'd be the same way. All right, so what words of advice would you give those who are interested in playing baseball or parents who have children who are just getting started in sports to stay focused or to get to a higher level?
Um, I would say until you're an upperclassman in high school, enjoy it. Don't put too much pressure on
Mhm.
yourself. Don't pressure your kids too much with it. Let them enjoy the game, and I think it'll make them a lot better in the long run. It
Okay,
teaches you to play the game with passion, and make you want to play the game.
that's awesome. And I think we can definitely apply that to any area of our lives for sure. What about baseball as the toughest for you?
Um, I would definitely hitting in baseball is a very very tough thing to do. So I would say probably curveball. Curveball is definitely the
Mm,
hardest part of baseball for me.
yeah, I can imagine, even for those who do play, it can definitely be tough. So if you weren't playing shortstop, what position do you think you would love to play, or would be your main position?
I think eventually, mostly or some of the college I've talked to want me to play outfield. Some of
Mm,
them shortstop. I think eventually, if I play middle infield at the next level, I'll probably end up moving to second base. I don't have just a cannon for an arm, so the right
mm.
side of the infield will probably be best for me.
Okay, awesome. Well, we definitely look forward to seeing you out there. Um, do you have any words that you would like to share, or any thanks to your family or to any supporters or watching you?
Yeah, of course, my parents and my family, they always support me no matter what. And all the coaches I've had over the years and current coaches, I wouldn't be here without them. And I've learned something from every one of them. So I appreciate them all. They spend a lot of time. Travel ball coaches, high school coaches, they spend a
Mm,
lot of time away from their families for players to get better.
so true. We gotta love that support system. So shout out to the families, the coaches who take the time to support our student athletes. All right. Well, coach is back in. Did you want to ask a few questions or make a few comments?
Well, I just wanted to say, Bryson, we're honored to have you here. I think you're our first baseball player.
That's
And,
awesome. For sure.
and I played baseball. I played second base myself.
Right.
It was many moons ago, but I still think I may have, I may be able to give a team an inning and a half. You know,
Yeah.
After that, I'm done. But man, it's good to have you on the show tonight, and we're gonna definitely want to follow your career, and our prayer and desire is that you do that baseball takes you as far as you want to go with it.
Absolutely.
Thank
Who
you.
Absolutely.
who did you mention who your favorite player is?
Yes,
Is,
sir.
is your,
For
is
me,
your,
Bryce
is your,
Harper.
is your team the favorite team, the Los Angeles Dodgers? Because I am all things Los Angeles. So
I don't
and
know if I can. I don't know if I'm a big LA guy, but I do like watching the Dodgers play. I do like watching them play.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll let you slide on that one tonight, since we're having technical difficulties. If I wasn't having technical difficulties, it may be another scenario.
Uh-oh. That's awesome. Well, Bryson, do you have a social media or contact you want us to check you out on for future?
Yes, ma'am. I have Twitter. I think that's what
Okay.
most of the recruiters use.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's Bryson Evans, BrysonEvans, and then underscore underscore.
Uh-oh. Something happened that Kandi and Bryson disappeared, and now I'm here. Okay, let's figure this out. This is what happens on live TV. I do not know what happened, Kandi, but
Oh, there we
okay.
are.
Oh yeah.
I think you figured it out.
Wow. Live TV,
Yes,
everybody.
not
Live from
bad
Los
here.
Angeles.
Yes,
This is how we
not
do it. We make it, we overcome the mistakes. Oh my God. So Bryson, give out your social media again. I think I messed you up, and
bad.
I'll take the blame for it.
Gotcha. My Twitter is Bryson Evans, the same way you spell it on the screen, and it's just underscore underscore at the end of it.
All right, got you. So that's his Twitter. If you're watching and you want to check him out or reach out to him, Again, thank you, Bryson, for coming onto the show this evening and giving us a little insight on your baseball career and giving advice to those student athletes as well. And we wish you much success and hope to see you in the future.
All right. Thank you. Thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Bryson? We're going to bring you back also. We're going to have you back again.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bryson Evans, I love his attitude. I absolutely love his attitude. Give your parents a hug for me, Bryson. They did a good job with you.
Yes, sir. I will.
Thank you, Bryson. Well, that was our first baseball player, and that's pretty awesome. I know we talk a lot of football and a lot of basketball, but it's great to get those different sports in there.
Definitely. And that young man, I mean, we're gonna bring him back, Kandi, because I want to make sure he gets justice because too much is going on tonight. So anyway, we'll work it out. We'll work it out.
It sounds good to me. Yeah, baseball is really cool.
All right, so we have a coach that's coming on next, and matter of fact, let me bring on Coach Kelly. I'm going to bring on Coach Kelly and let him introduce our guest tonight.
Okay.
Coach Kelly. We're looking for Coach Kelly.
There he is.
Man, I'm not even in the house yet.
Everything.
When you said there was a lot going on, you wasn't lying, man. I tell you what, it has been a crazy day. It has been a crazy day. I'm walking in the house as we speak.
I love it. I love it. Live TV.
That's what makes it entertaining. What are there any comments, Coach?
Do what?
Well, we had a comment in the comments section. Somebody said the NBA finals are on.
Oh, they are on tonight, but that's okay. Thank you for joining.
Well, the Lakers are not playing, so now since somebody brought up the NBA finals, I wonder what were the odds that the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks were going to make it to the NBA finals.
And definitely not the Lakers. Yeah.
You probably, Kandi, you probably could have took $5 to Las Vegas and made $1 million off of it.
I wish I would have. I really do.
Nobody predicted the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks would be in the NBA finals.
Definitely an odd mix. Yeah. I feel like it's March Madness all over again.
I would have to disagree with the fact that the Bucks wouldn't be there. They really were right there last year. They made it. I'm not shocked that they're there. The Phoenix Suns were 8-0 in the bubble last year. I mean, Chris Paul has done a good job of doing what he's doing. And I don't want to upset you, Coach, but there was a thing that I shared today on Facebook just a few hours ago that said LeBron traded Nick Young for, and Chris Paul took Nick Young to the finals.
Well, look. Let me say this. See, people want to beat up on LeBron. LeBron was not 100%. AD was not 100%. So if we just had, and they still made it to the first round. So if LeBron had been healthy, Chris Paul would be at home right now.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But sometimes it's just certain years are just certain players. It started out good for LeBron, but it's been Chris Paul's year all year long.
But you know what this year came down to? What team was the healthiest? Exactly. That's all it was. I don't even believe the two best teams are in the NBA finals.
I agree with that. I
They
think
are
it
the
should be.
two
I think it should
healthiest
be.
teams.
I think it should be Brooklyn and the Clippers. I don't think it's the Lakers. I think it should be the
You know,
Clippers.
you know what, Coach Kelly, I'm gonna remove you from the screen.
Well, at least he had an LA team in there.
Man,
So.
I've been a Clippers fan ever since they drafted Blake Griffin. I'm still a Clippers fan, and it is what it is.
Well, you have what was the movie? The Color Purple. When they was at the dinner table and the father said, "You has my sympathies," you has my sympathies being a Clipper fan. That's our little.
You say that,
That's
but
our little.
they've been beating LA Lakers pretty consistent lately.
Oh, come on. You know what? Let me bring Coach Spencer in. We ain't even introduce him. I'm just going to bring him in because I don't want him to have to just suffer and listen to this foolishness, this blasphemous talk from Coach Kelly.
Welcome to the show, Coach Spencer.
It's all good. It was great hearing a conversation about it.
Coach Spencer, you hearing family dirty laundry being aired right now. Coach Kelly said he just got home. He must have been out drinking or something because he's talking about the Clippers.
Oh, man. I mean, back to your point about it being a crazy matchup, it really was. You would expect that matchup last year when COVID was more involved.
Yes, they're in the bubble for sure.
Yeah, I would have expected that matchup in the bubble.
Well, yeah. I don't ever expect that matchup because the Clippers are the JV team in Los Angeles. All right, Kandi, go ahead. It's your show, baby.
Well, again, welcome to the show, Coach Spencer. If you don't mind, introduce yourself and let us know what sport it is that you coach and where you're from.
So I coach the wide receivers at Presentation College. We are a NAIA program in Aberdeen, South Dakota. So we actually have 30,000 people in town. And I know that a lot of people get caught up in South Dakota. You're in the Midwest. You're up north, though. You're more up north than most. So people get very nervous and scared about that. But we have a lot of great assets on our campus. So we're able to have a double dome. We'll put that up come October. So we'll blow that up. The guys can practice inside in a dome. That way they stay warm. We don't have guys getting sick or anything. And then it allows us to start spring ball earlier compared to most programs. So, for some schools on the East Coast that may be near the beach or warmer weather, we're able to get it in about the same time that they can.
Okay. Very nice. So as a wide receiver coach, does that mean that you just specifically work with a specific position or you work with the team as a whole, or how does that look?
So do work with the wide receivers, but I'll have my hands in different parts. So I'll be helping out in different parts of special teams. Haven't got all of those duties dealt out yet, but that'll be coming as soon as I get back into the office.
Okay.
So that is something that's on deck and figuring out. There will be some logistic opportunities that I have my hands in. I've helped take some of our players. We actually served at a hockey game. We have a hockey team in town that is basically rising freshmen going into college, and that's their way to earn scholarship money. And they play in front of a great crowd and earn scholarship money. But no, so I expect some other roles as well outside of football on the logistic end, but work with receivers, work with special teams, fill some off-duty roles, and just fit as needed.
Okay, awesome. So how did you get into coaching?
So got into coaching because my uncle coached high school football. I played baseball and football. But yeah, so grew up in it, learned under my uncle. And then when I got into college, I actually graduated from Coastal Carolina University. They had a great year this year. But I started at the bottom. So I started out in equipment and, all the way from learning how to tighten the helmets and chin straps to being a student assistant on defense to my last semester there working with wide receivers. So it was a step-by-step process. Just finished my graduate assistant time at Tabor College, and now the wide receiver coach at Presentation College.
Okay. So do you see yourself changing to a different kind of coach or different position in the future, or is the wide receiver coach, was that your goal?
It was a goal. Anytime that you can be a position coach on the field, it's great. Anytime you can be involved in the game, it's great. So, there's a lot of job opportunities on and off the field. So that's the great thing about the sport. But I appreciate what I've gone through.
Right.
Being able to experience from the bottom up, I've learned those roles, and to have experience on both sides of the ball, it's really paid off because it helps make you more marketable. And to me, I don't want to get pegged as, okay, I'm only one coach. It gives you that opportunity to coach another position if needed, and you don't hinder yourself.
Right. So having those different roles definitely helps, I can imagine. So what does your season look like? Have you started practicing now for the fall, or are you on break? Where are you guys now?
So at our school, our guys can stay on campus. So that's a blessing and awesome. Not all programs allow their athletes on campus over the summer. So we're blessed for that. Our guys have been in the weight room. We've had some skill and drill sessions. The guys are able to basically go out and do indie on their own. I finally got to meet a good bit of the receivers. I'll meet the rest of them when they come in for camp.
Okay.
Our guys will report on August 9th.
Okay.
So it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah. So you start on August 9th. When does the season actually begin?
The season actually begins really about 3 weeks after. So just that Labor Day weekend.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that first game is really going to be a great opportunity because, we're playing the runner-up to the national champions this year.
Wow.
So it's gonna be a great opportunity to test it, see where we're at, see where we got to keep improving at, and hopefully pull it off. And that's the thing. You got to believe, you got to prepare, and you've got to do your best to put yourself in a situation to be successful and see what happens. And if you don't, you know where to get better at.
Absolutely.
And you can't get better without playing better competition. So why not?
No, absolutely. Go for it out the gate, and you'll know what you need to work on. If it doesn't work out so well, you've got the rest of the season to build yourself up and prepare for the next year. Okay, so what is the most challenging part of coaching, or the most rewarding part as well?
Ooh, most challenging. I would have to say not necessarily recruiting, but I would say continuing to be a great time manager. I think that's the biggest key because there's a lot involved with that. So you're recruiting, you have, and it's different for every coach. You have your own Google Sheet, Excel sheet, however you have it set up, of guys that you're contacting, last date of contact so that you don't lose contact with anybody. So it's the time management from that part. It's time management on making sure that you stay with your players, making sure that they're all okay during the school year. They're being accountable, getting grades right and everything, as well as just, continuing to grow as a coach. You got to have that time to keep growing and clinicking with others as well to help make you better, to bring more things to the guys. So to me, it's a lot of time management. I think that's really the toughest part.
Okay, I can imagine that. It sounds like a lot in itself, but rewarding too. So speaking of rewarding, what has been the most rewarding part for you for coaching?
The most rewarding part to me and it's basically what I've gotten in it for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's about being able to help have an impact on young men's lives.
Yes.
Help leave that foundation. You know, help leave that foundation for their future when they go on to have their own family. So it's been great to have that opportunity and that platform to do so through coaching football. There was actually a player at Tabor when I left that was appreciative. We only got to work together for about a year and a half. And he had some family things going on, and it was great to just be able to have that family connection together in a position group, on the team, just all together, and be able to help others is what it's really about.
Yes, that's awesome. I hear a lot of athletes say or coming up that my coaches made an impact in my life. My family may have been going through things. My dad's not feeling out, but that male influence from my coaches was a difference. So definitely hats off to you and to the other coaches who put in that time and effort to make an impact on these young men's lives.
And the thing is, I mean, every person has a challenge. Every person has a different life story. You know, we all face different roadblocks going up that mountain.
Right.
Making the climb to the top. So we all deal with the challenges, and you know, I think it's all about growing together and being able to be open, share what you've gone through to help have an impact. It goes a long ways, and understanding what other people have gone through, even if you haven't. You know,
right.
There's different scenarios that you have to put in your shoes and really think how you go through things. So, you know, it's a great opportunity, and I'd love to just have an impact on them.
I love that. I love it. So for wide receivers or for, I guess, football players who want to get into that position, what words of advice do you have for the athletes?
So going from playing to coaching?
Well, now, if you're an athlete and you want to play the wide receiver position?
Okay. I would say the biggest thing is, you know, just continuing to work on your craft. Mm-hmm. And also there's a lot of debate on when to start. You know, for young athletes, there's a big debate on, do you start at youth? Do you start at grade level school, like middle school? Mm-hmm. There's a big debate on that too. I really didn't dive into it till middle school. I hopped into it at the youth level, did it for a year, quit, and then hopped back into it at middle school. So I picked it up later back on. But I would say the biggest thing is, you know, go outside, you know, throw a ball with guys, go run some routes. You know, just get close to the game. I would say get close to the game first. See if you even like it.
Right.
See if you find that interest. You know, a lot of guys, you know, fit at different sports, and they just gravitate to them as well. You know,
right.
And it's all about finding a sport that fits your athletic abilities. You know, that's a big
thing. That is so true.
Because some people want to do one thing, but they have the skill set for the other. It's like, you really should do this. But no, I think that it comes to getting around the game, learning more about it, and learning the little details that go into it and the sacrifice it takes. Because football does take a lot. You know, it's not just go out there, put on the pads, go play. Right. You know, it really is a mental game. You know, you've got to study. You've got to study the playbook. Mentally, you've got to get up every morning, you know, depending on your weightlifting times. You have to get up in the morning, go to a 5:30 lift or conditioning, and then you turn around and have to get to a position meeting. So there's a lot involved on that aspect, too, that some people don't think about. But I would say get around the game, you know, watch clinic film. You know, you can get a lot of drills from YouTube, from coaches that have clinicked. You know, Gunnar Brewer, he has a film from North Carolina, you know, showing drills. I've seen some from Alabama, you know, so roll tide for them. They still have it rolling, so hats off to them. But yeah, I mean, there are so many free resources. You should not have to pay. I'll say this: you should not have to pay for the resources you need to start to learn the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say too, for players that are in it and starting early, pay attention. Really pay attention. Don't be that athlete while maybe first string's getting reps or whatnot that you're not paying attention, because down the road you may want to get into coaching. You're going to need that either way.
Right.
Take bits and pieces of what you see and learn and and put it into what you want to do. As well as, learning those X's and O's goes a long ways to helping the team be successful. You've got to know when to motion and stuff and not get your team, a penalty.
Right. Awesome. Well, all of those combined were great words of advice. So I hope that our athletes and future athletes are watching and taking note on those words of advice for football in general and to be coachable, I'm assuming, as part of that as well. So, all right. Well, thank you. We're getting ready to wrap up on this end. But before we do you have contact? Do you have a social media you'd like for us to check you out on or contact you for?
I do. So my cell number is 704-245-3310. So you can reach out to me at any time. And then my Twitter is a capital C for coach, and then OACH, all lowercase. It's 3 underscores,
Okay.
and then the capital M for my last name, and Matlock. So MATLOCK, but the M's capitalized. So.
All right. Well, thank you again, Coach Mr. Matlock.
Before you go, Coach, somebody asked a question. Who is the best wide receiver ever?
Oh.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one to not even be able to provide a top 5 right there. Oh,
right. Man. Well, give us top 3 maybe, because that's a lot of pressure.
Top 3. Oh. Personally, this is a biased one, but I have to go with it. Steve Smith. He was a dog. Nothing was going to stop him. Whoever he lined up against, nothing was stopping that man. I would say him. I would say Randy Moss.
Yeah, Randy was a good one. Yeah.
I would say Randy Moss. And then I'll go another late one. I caught a little bit of it. Not getting to catch the whole career. I would say Jerry Rice as well. He was a great athlete. And then I'll give you a fourth. And
okay.
The other one I like to watch. Great, consistent catcher of the ball. Calvin Johnson. That was it. Calvin Johnson. Good possession receiver. I really liked watching him. And 2, I liked him from seeing how he transitioned from college to NFL, because at Georgia Tech, triple option offense, they may have passed a little more with him being there, but that's the great thing about wide receivers. When you can block and when you can receive, that is huge. In my room, I call my guys the perimeter bullies. I want them to dominate in all 3 phases: blocking, route running, catching, and I want them to make the corner, safety, whoever it is, feel like they don't have a chance. But if we're not on top of it, we're going to be in a 12-round fight, and it's going to be a fight till the death. So they better be ready.
That's a good formula. That's a great formula. All right.
Well, somebody said Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice owns every record known to mankind.
Yeah, Jerry's definitely one of the greats. Absolutely.
Yeah. But thank you for having me on. I greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
It was great getting to talk to both of you. I'm glad that my internet finally started working a whole lot smoother. It was kind of choppy there for a second.
Well, thank you.
Well, we're glad to have you, Coach.
Yeah, great information. Great info.
Well, have a great evening, and look forward to catching up with you both soon.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach Spencer Matlock. We appreciate you, and As soon as I can figure out how to take you out, I will.
Something new tonight for our new day. That was a great interview. Of course, I'm a football girl, so it's always great to hear and talk with football coaches about that sport specifically. But then having him be a wide receiver coach is a specialty has been awesome. That was awesome as well.
Well, that definitely, Kandi, and let's bring this trader back in.
Hey, man,
my,
that's some serious words.
my my sister is watching, and she said he's a Laker hater. Why is he on here?
No, I'm not a Laker hater, man. I just think the Clippers are just, you got to go with who's up and comer right now. I mean, the finals is two up and comers. That's where we're at right now. I mean, I'm not against
Candy,
LeBron. I'm not
Candy,
against the Lakers.
are you ready? Candy, are you ready to go? You ready?
No, I gotta stay out of this basketball talk because Alabama doesn't have it. But when we talk football, I'll jump back in. So I'm just out of this one.
Well, let's assume Coach Kelly has something more interesting to talk about than the Clippers.
He does. He's going to give us some recruitment information this weekend. Well, this evening. It's not even the weekend anymore. It's Thursday. Yeah, he's going to give us some recruitment.
I'm adjusting also. That's why I've got a lot going on, and I was like, man, I got to get back. And I figured, I was like, if I'm at the end of the show, I'll be able to make it just in time. And then
yes.
And he's like, I heard he's like, I'm gonna bring Coach Kelly on. I was like, oh no.
Well, here we are. It's your time now to share information with us. So, what do you got for us tonight?
I've got a lot of preliminary paperwork that we can get into.
Okay, let's chat about it. What's the paperwork like?
Okay, so what I run into a lot with kids these days is I don't know if it's just misinformation or completely missing information, but I've got a lot of kids that they don't even know what a Pell Grant is or what the federal student aid is, and ultimately you kids can get up to $6,500 or $6,300, I believe it is, per semester for free, basically. By filling out what they call a FAFSA. Well, I've had some kids be like, "What's a FAFSA?" And I'm like, how do you not know that? Like, and anybody can apply for it, and it's if you qualify for student aid, you can get that, of course. And once you fill it out, everything is online, and basically it's your parents' income and things of that nature. If you qualify, they will give you money per semester up until you graduate. One thing that is also an advantage in there is if you do get federal aid, you can go in and type in the school code in online, and it'll send all of your parents' information directly to the school. You don't even have to do it.
It will.
Kids don't know about that, and I'm like blown away by that. The other thing that kids aren't aware that they should be doing, especially in the schools that they're interested in, is to apply for the school online, because you may have a coach who likes you, but you don't qualify to get into the school. So you have to apply to every school that you're interested in going to. You need to, before you can, even sign or sign in, you got to get accepted into school. Some kids don't know that, and they're sitting there thinking that, well, I just sign this piece of paper, my letter of intent, and then I show up on, the first day of school, and it doesn't work like that.
Right.
You have to apply to the school first and get accepted into school, and then things start moving from there. A lot of kids don't know that. They'll be sitting there and they'll have a top 5 list of schools where they want to go to, and haven't applied to none of them, and looking to make a decision within the next week. And most kids don't know that, and there's a lot of paperwork that goes into it that I run into where kids are like not aware of it. So I mean, there's just stuff like that you have to make sure that especially on my end as a recruiter, that I've asked kids, have you filled out your FAFSA? Have you applied to the schools that you want to? And the majority, I'm probably say 90% of the time, kids have not done that. So that's my tip for tonight: is make sure that you get those things done, because it makes the process a lot smoother. And it also shows interest. If a coach is recruiting you and you say, yes, I've already got my student aid done, that shows that you are self-disciplined and also know what you're supposed to be doing. Coaches love the kids that they don't have to chase around and make them do what they're supposed to do. And then the other thing is, if you've applied, that also shows interest in the school. If you take an initiative and apply to the school where the coach is taking, that shows that, hey, they're interested in coming here. And that also can help, get you there into the school.
Awesome. Well, that was a great tip for this evening. And often, like you said, overlooked. We are so eager to get to the school and start playing that we forget that there are a few steps we have to take to actually begin the process. So
Exactly.
Great tip tonight. Thank you for that, Coach Kelly.
Thank you.
I want to share this because based on what I've learned from Coach Kelly and from the show, I'm actually starting a tutoring program in August with a retired math teacher and a retired English teacher. So they're going to be tutoring young people at the church that may have issues with English and math. And so I'm really excited about that because I have learned so much more about getting ready. And like Coach Kelly said, you got to be ready and able to get accepted into that particular college. Now, here in California, the governor just signed a law basically saying that no child will fail because of the pandemic, and it will either be a pass or no pass. And they've also made it where a child can stay a fifth year in high school if they want to.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, this I believe is Bill 80B 108 or something, but it's really basically what he's saying is that here in California, kids didn't learn anything during the pandemic. That's just a wasted year. And they're not going to penalize the kids, even student athletes that normally would be considered ineligible. They're going to be eligible to play and participate in sports. So
that's good.
I was really kind of happy to hear that because I really think a lot of kids, I don't know, how it is in, Alabama and Oklahoma, but I know here in California, these kids struggled with that online schooling. And
I think that's nationwide. I'm actually in summer school right now, and the focus is credit recovery because the kids had such a hard time during the school year that this whole summer is nothing about anything other than credit recovery. And because of that exact situation.
Yeah, same here. It's been tough in Alabama as well. I mean, we're already at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to education anyway. So I can imagine how tough it's been on all the kids around the country due to COVID. So yeah, it's been tough for everyone.
Well, Coach, that you kind of redeemed yourself. So
hey, that's almost becoming a weekly thing there.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. So
call me the comeback kid.
That's right. That's right.
We may have stumbled across the finish line, but we made it on this Thursday night. So
I mean, it's new. It's gonna take a while to get used to, but I think it turned out great.
It definitely. So with that being said, you guys, great show. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. And oh God, but for those of you who are watching, and there's still people watching, I am like, really, when we mess up and people stay on, I guess they want to see if we're gonna make any more mistakes.
So we're so excited. Next week we'll do our best.
For all of you that are still watching, and thank you, I appreciate it. Buy some merchandise, some Expect to Win. Kandi, tell them how to reach you. And Coach, tell them how to reach you.
That's right. So, of course, expecttowinaa.com. That's if you want our Expect to Win gear. You can follow me on social media at official Kandi K. That is my Twitter, Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Kandi Night. Just do a search, and that's how you can contact me.
Coach Kelly?
Yes, sir. You can find me on Twitter at NSA Prospects, and also my football Twitter at FB_NSA. And then, of course, all my other social media is also the same at NSA Prospects. My email is nsaprospects@gmail.com, and my cell is 405-933-6100, and the website is nsaprospects.net.
Awesome.
And for me, wherever you see Kandi, you will find me. So
that's right.
Let me share this before we go. Here in Southern California, the San Gabriel Valley League football, that division, there has been a major power shift because Bo Thomas left Paramount High School to go to Warren High School, which is they are now saying Warren High School could possibly compete for a state championship because Bo Thomas transferred there.
Well, that's
so
awesome.
Matter of fact, not only is Bo there, Jaden is there. Jaden is a freshman. And he is a wide receiver, and he looks like he may make the varsity squad. So
shout out to Jalen and Bo. Those are big moves.
Yeah, they've already told Bo to get ready to do a lot of interviews because that was a major shift in that whole division by him going to Warren High School. So, and he loves it. I haven't seen this dude this happy in a long time.
Well, that is awesome.
But I had to throw that out there. Anyway, everybody, I'm Coach Thomas.
I'm Kandi Night.
And I'm Coach Kelly.
And this has been the Expect to Win experience. We will see you next Thursday. Make sure you subscribe and tell everybody. If you want to see a good show that they don't care about making mistakes and all of that, check out the Expect to Win experience.
That's right. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, new day. So have a good evening. Watching.
Have a good evening. God bless you guys. Let's see if we can make this work. Closing credits work. All right. We out of here.